Good afternoon, Trinity. Mr. Rand here with a few reading recommendations for this week. For those who don't know me, I am a math teacher, and yes, I am here to recommend a few math books. But before you decide to tune me out, they are far more entertaining than a math textbook, and if you have any interest in history, you may find yourself enjoying them. The first book is The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets. Believe it or not, The Simpsons have a rich mathematical history, not just within the show, but behind the scenes. Many of the creators and writers have a math or science background, especially those during what is referred to as the golden age of The Simpsons. In this book, Simon, the author, investigates different episodes where math inspired some of the jokes. He also interviews some of the writing team, discussing the processes of writing the jokes and weaving in their love for mathematics. Simon never does go too in-depth with the math, which, as a math person, that does sadden me, but it does leave this book accessible to anyone. So if you have any interest in The Simpsons, you'll enjoy this book. It's easy to read and has humor weaved throughout. Our next book is Zero, the biography of a dangerous idea. This was my first introduction, or I guess just my introduction to non-math textbooks. It's quite a humorous ride through the history of the number zero. Believe it or not, people were killed due to the idea of zero. And while it might seem silly now, there was a time when it wasn't, and zero represented nothingness. The book actually starts in 1997, where an extra zero is left over in some poor programming, which caused the computer of a battleship to try and divide by zero, causing the ship's engines to become damaged. 3 hours later, it was towed to port, and it took 2 days for the engineers to fix the computers and the engines. From here, the author jumps back into time, explores the history of zero throughout the ages, from the Babylonians to the ancient Greeks, the church during the Middle Ages, and up to modern time. It's a remarkable tale, enjoyable by anyone, not just mathematicians. Finally, we have Here's Looking at Euclid. Author Alex Bellos takes the reader on a ride through the history of numbers. Did you know we use Arabic numbers? You get to learn about how ancient civilizations like the Chinese and Indians counted and wrote their numbers. You get to read about how ancient Babylonia and Egypt were able to discover pi, or at least a number close to it, thousands of years ago. Do you ever feel like your iPhone doesn't truly shuffle your songs? Well, it isn't random, and the author explores why. He also shows how algebra has helped cure traffic problems, and even the link between pineapples and white teeth. It is a wonderful journey through many different topics involving numbers, including things like probability and number puzzles. All 3 books, they are fun, easy to read, and anyone can enjoy them. Love or deep knowledge of math is not required.